Hey everybody, it's MTK, Mac the Knife, oh yeah. Coming at you again with another live interview. Again, this is the first time I've ever done it. Live interview with Ikan, solo main from, he's from NorCal, runs Chicago. He runs Chicago. That's my Chicago accent. Go Bears. Is that what they do? Yeah, he's Ikan down in Chicago. This is just awful. Not the interview, but my shitty accent. He's such a humble guy. The most RYU dude you'll ever fucking meet. I think I even state that in the interview. Subscribe for more content like this. If you like player interviews, if you like what I'm doing on this channel over here with all the texts and the montages and the great content, you let me know. Support me on Patreon because I'm doing this for a living now. I know, really dumb idea at 1,000 subscribers and 300 followers on fucking Twitch. So, yeah, support your boy. Great interview with Ikan. Come on. Give it up for the man. The best. The best. How y'all doing out there? I got the interview with the legendary RYU main, the one and only Ikan. He'll be joining me soon, so please consider subscribing, following. I do this for you guys. Come on. And of course for me. Get a lowdown into what's going on into somebody's brain when they solo main a RYU. I think that's wild.
Hello.
Is that Ikan? Yeah, what's up, boy?
It's Ikan actually, but I get a lot of mispronunciations, so don't worry.
Oh, really? Does that happen all the time? Let me turn on my music.
Well, a lot earlier when I started competing, actually, like really early on. But now I feel like I've kind of got a decent name for myself, so people get it right. So
Right? Oh, yeah. I used to get that all the time. They would call me Mark the Knife. I'm like, there's no R. Like, I'd get so mad at them. Like, what the hell's going on? How you been?
Nah, dude. I've been good. You caught me at a pretty decent time. I just got out of class and I just picked up some granola on the way back. So yeah, I'm pretty good.
Oh, nice. Eating right, dude. I woke up maybe an hour ago. I woke up. Well, I went to bed at 3. I'm labbing. Can't fall asleep. Don't know why. And then I fucking go to bed at 3. Wake up at 8. My girl kisses me goodbye, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, I should wake up. I should go to the gym. I have an interview today, and then I fall back asleep, and it's 12 o'clock. I'm like, shit, fuck, oh no.
Dude, I don't blame you, man. I'm decently tired because I slept around 2. I had a friend of mine that wanted to just play, and I just screwed around with some Sora last night, so it was pretty fun, just easy. So,
how do you like that character? I am not a fan of it.
He's all right. I mean, so I play against a lot of people, and a lot of people are they want me to teach them specific habits and help them because the thing with okay, this is already segueing into shoto talk, which is kind of a little unfortunate. That's quick.
It's all good, dude. Let it let it roll, dude.
Yeah. I think the character that I play, right? I play a lot of RYU. I feel like he's good at exposing habits, but he does it in ways that other characters don't really understand. So, for example, I've had a good friend of mine who's a Lucas player, right? Mm-hmm. And that matchup kind of comes down to just spacing fireball, getting around his range, respecting his disjoints, right? Uh-huh. But when you do it with other characters like Lucina, who has a sword, you can kind of poke much easier, and you can kind of just play more of your own game. So when people want me to yo, Ikan, help me out, give me some advice, I'll go a bunch of variety of characters, right? So I'll just try and see, okay, Lucina, how do they deal with swords? How do they deal with, maybe Kazuya electrics? I play a lot of characters in friendlies, but in bracket, I think the character that I'm obviously the best with and I have the most practice with is RYU. So
without a doubt,
playing to win there. But sometimes,
you're destroying Ned with RYU. It's it's obvious that we got a fucking great RYU on our hands.
But that's what everybody says. Every time I talk to people, yo, you're the RYU that beats Ned. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I feel dealing with Sora is completely different than any other sortie because you have this weird nair, this weird forward air that's also a multi-hit. It's not and it's aerial too. So even if you're landing nair on shield and you're going for your down tilts, he's just got a nair. Your down tilts are doing nothing, but you're getting ting by the blunt object. How are you dealing with that? Because I've fought some Soras and I'm like, oh my god, kill me. And then I've fought some other Soras and I'm like, this is the easiest matchup on the planet.
Okay. So we're talking RYU Sora. I actually I fought my first Sora in bracket last Wednesday at Ignition. It was Panda Bear. Panda Bear is a villager that's trying to swap over to Sora. So I played him
Smart
last
move.
week in winners quarters, I think. And it felt different in the way you have to play. Obviously, every single Shoto matchup I feel like is so different. But the way I went into it was I'm gonna let him swing in the air, let him do his 1-2-3s, ching 1-2-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just I treated it kind of like a different version of the Seth matchup, which I look at as okay, he has a sword, I don't. Okay, I'm going to get gate kept out, and that's literally how the game is working, right? He has a disjoint, I don't, right? But to get around that, I'm going to use pretty much every single tool that I have to mix up my opponent so hard to the point where I'm going to get my 2 to 3 interactions and then kill you at 80, right?
Exactly.
So that's how I look at it. So in terms of Seth, I actually had a lot of trouble with this matchup over the summer when offline tournaments started coming back.
Is it because of the snaps? What was giving you problems with Sephiroth?
The problem was I think I was trying to outsmart or like kind of outplay the giant sword when I realized, hold on,
dude,
if I'm going,
wait.
No,
I am so guilty of this because I'm a focus fiend. It's like ever since like Smash 4, all I've been doing is like try to perfect focus attack. This is gonna be the one thing that makes you so much different than any other Shoto. So that bad habit translated to this game. And focus attack is like almost trash, but it's like it's a good movement option with a great like punish afterwards, but whatever. And so when I approach the Sephiroth matchup, I'm seeing forward airs, I'm seeing snaps in the air, I'm seeing single hits. I'm like, you know what? I can focus and get in when I have to.
Oh no!
With all this, you said.
Oh no! Oh no!
So in the beginning, Sephiroth was giving me so much trouble. I'm like, what is happening? I thought I could tank this. No, it's not the case. So.
Well, yeah. Well, how I've grown to I'm gonna like completely backtrack because I feel like we can talk about matchups more later. But
yeah.
This was my first season of offline consistent tournament practice in Ultimate. Actually, this past season of Summer Chicago, it was the season was July 14th to September 30th. It was my first real season of offline, but the thing is, I've been playing the game for quite a while. So it's kind of interesting because I think the game is so different when you're playing in person compared to online. And everybody said that so many times, but there's a lot that I've learned, which I might go into a little bit more later in terms of just like tournament mentality, going to different venues, different vibes, different air conditioning like levels. Like I've had sets where my hands are freezing. I've had sets where my hands are warm. I've had different rides warmers back. Yeah, dude.
The hand warmers in the pocket. Those things can get hot in your pocket, I'll tell
you. They can. Oh my god. And now Chicago winter is here, and I am not looking forward to it. Walking to class is already hard enough. So
Jesus Christ. Did it snow yet down there?
We had our first day of snow yesterday. It was like kind of light snow. It was like sleet, so it wasn't really hitting the ground too hard. But
it just made everything way too cold, I can imagine.
Yeah, no, the wind chill of Chicago is always something. So I'm from California, right? I'm from Northern Cali. Right. And I came to Chicago over quarantine to study in Chicago for college.
Okay, so, wait. What do you study?
Economics. So I'm a business major. Yeah.
Why would you do that? It sounds like the most boring thing in the planet.
Well,
what has you interested in economics?
So first off, I was like, I have a lot of history just kind of like dealing with like monetary decision making in terms of just like what I've been doing with people. So a lot of like my passion kind of stems from that decision making, which I guess could translate into Smash a little bit. Ooh, fancy. But no, I don't know. I kind of wanted like a basic, easy major to kind of start off. And if things change, which they might, honestly, no clue. This econ class is a lot right now. But if things change, I'll try. The econ core requirements go into a lot of other majors, so I'll already like not be wasting my time. But right now, it's been good. It's been busy. I've been really liking it. It's just been good to be back in school, like in person. Like I moved to Chicago last year, but all the classes are online, and it was kind of scuffed. But now I'm kind of getting to the flow of things, you know. COVID vaccine starting. Yeah.
I bet you're missing California right now, especially being in the sleet and just being like.
But so here's the funny part. Okay, I love Chicago. Right, I love this place. It's
really
awesome. It's great. I love. Okay, California is great and all, but after living there for 18 years, I kind of like wanted something new. I think, and I think college was the perfect time to try that out.
Exactly.
So being around these huge buildings in like downtown Chicago with a 10-minute train ride away, having wonderful like Chicago transit to go from any place to anywhere. I got to so many locals just off of like CTA trains and buses. Like it was like absurd. And the university pays for our like passes over the years. So I get to just go wherever I want if I want
Fuck
to. Right?
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
right.
Hell yeah.
I feel
dude.
like I'm young. I'm trying to just explore and see these
Living
things.
the
It
life,
feels-
you know.
Yeah,
You're
right?
out there doing the youthful thing. Like you only have one life. Might as well just like experience something new, especially
Yeah,
while
right.
while you're young.
So
You
many,
need
so
to.
many of my friends back in Cali were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna just, go to university like 10 minutes away." And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool. Maybe money might be tight. Maybe you don't have the opportunities, but like, if I could do it, why would I not? Right? Go see something new." And it's
Yeah.
been awesome. I love this place, except for January and February. Those are my least favorite months of the year because it's so cold, man.
Oh god, dude, I gotta tell you, I'm in Arizona, and yesterday it was like 87, and I'm like,
87.
I want to wear a sweatshirt so bad, but I have pit stains. Like, what the hell is going on? It is so hot here all the time. Like
Oh
the
my
summers
God.
are unbearable. And I was a pool guy too, so I was like always out in the heat. And seeing pools I could never jump in because I'm servicing them. So I was always just like, fuck this. I got to get somewhere colder. I was originally from New York and I moved out here. I was like, this is bad. But at least Chicago's treating you well. This scene is a little bit better than Northern California, I'd imagine, right? The Smash scene?
Yes. So in terms of like scenes, I've been asked this a lot since I came from there. I only went to maybe 4 or 5 NorCal tournaments back in Cali. Because I think the big thing was I was under 18 and I didn't want to be out that late. Which
You're a good
was
kid.
the big thing. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a good kid.
I think my parents actually raised me pretty right. They were like, "Yeah, I can, I like that you wanted to try new things, but if you're gonna make top 8 and you're gonna stay there till 1, you don't have a ride back because you didn't have a license till you're 17 and a half. It's kind of hard, right?"
Yeah.
So
They were waiting
yeah.
out front in the car, just waiting for you to get done.
No, dude. Oh my God, I got so many, like a couple stories from
Hit
because
me. I got nowhere to go.
okay, so it was February 2019. Okay, and a lot of Smash back in when I was in my high school years was I was kind of just like going out with friends and having fun, and we were just like labbing the game together, and we were just trying to improve, and we were like in love with like the mystical thing of like top level Smash gameplay. So we wanted to reach it, so we'd always challenge each other to do all that. So
Yeah.
Smash tournaments on like Fridays were like kind of our little relief of like, yo, let's go, let's practice, let's go. So it's early Ultimate. It's February. I go with a couple of friends, right? And I get an upset for the first time against I think the player's name was Age. He's a Wolf player. He was like top 25 in the first season of NorCal, so he was really good.
Who
right?
were you
And
playing? Were you a Ryu main the whole entire time?
I've been a RYU player since 2016 Smash 4.
Fuck
So
yeah, dude.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. I played on Wi-Fi 3DS was like my calling. Okay, and yeah, and then I moved into Ultimate. And then I
Oh,
played
it's
here.
so funny. I had it on the 3DS, and I was like, I'm gonna go to a tournament. I want to win one tournament. So I'd bring
Yeah.
my 3DS to the gym, and I'd walk the Stairmaster and play my 3DS as like a 25-year-old kid. It was
That's a grind, dude. That's a grind. I love that.
I was on it. Back to your story.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
Oh, but one more question. Who were you
Shoot.
maining before Ryu came out? It's a big question.
I was all over the place, but the characters that I loved the most were I like Shulk because I like being able to like feel cool with like Smash mode. I like Sonic because I like spamming side B. I won't lie, it was fun. It was very fun.
You're the
It was
enemy.
fun.
What is this?
Dude, I pressed side B shield and I dash grab and I was like, wait, I'm conditioning. I'm so good. This like little like chump. This thing is so good. I like those two a lot. And then I didn't really have like I played Lucas a lot in Brawl casually, but that's like really young. Like
But yeah, Brawl was like everybody in Brawl was like
yeah.
I played
yeah. So I guess everybody like I guess I had a byproduct nest, I guess. I was just kind of playing a bunch of characters but I really like, Sonic and Shulk at the start because they were just like different. But then Ryu came out in 2015 June, I think, right? Yeah. And that was like the Lucas Roy Ryu pack. And I'm like a baby, bro. I'm like so young. I'm just playing with my friend back home, and the days go by, and I'm kind of like, let's try Ryu out a little bit. And I have like a clip of me like doing like hard down tilt dash attack instead of Tatsu, and I'm like, oh my God, I've come such a long way. It's crazy.
Those are great.
Good days. Yeah.
I'll boot up when it happens once a year where somebody will tweet out, this is the X anniversary of Smash 4. And I'll always boot up my Wii U I only bought a Wii U to play Smash 4 too. So it's like
Of
the
course.
only game I have on there. And I'll just
Yeah.
go through my replays and I'm like just sitting back watching. I'm like, what are you doing? You know nothing about this character. What is happening? I'm just so disappointed in my play, especially back then. But hey, you got to start somewhere, especially
Sure.
with a character that's so unlike playing Smash Brothers that you've
Agreed.
known, you know? Like motion
Agreed.
inputs, I couldn't do a DP for the life of me. It was
Oh
so
yeah,
hard.
no. This is probably gonna be a question that's gonna come up later, but I have no Street Fighter experience. Zero. I've played once or twice when I was maybe in middle school in an arcade, and that's about it.
That's
And
hilarious.
I was asking my friend on the side how to do a Hadouken, and he said quarter circle forward. I didn't know what that meant.
You're like, what? It'd
Yeah,
be
I
funny
was
if they
so
talked
confused.
in like the notation where they're like,
Oh,
it's 2 3
2 3
8,
6.
2 3
yeah,
6
two
or
three
whatever.
six.
Like,
Yeah, I was like, oh
what
my
the
god, what are
fuck
you
talking
saying?
about?
What are you saying? Yeah. Oh my god, it was god awful.
The funny thing is, me too. I always wanted to be good at Street Fighter. My brother was like, he always beat me in it, so I stopped playing when I was like 5, 6. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Ryu's in this game. It's my favorite fighting game of all time. I can at least learn him in this. So I tried.
Yeah.
I know Street Fighter, and now I have a Street Fighter cabinet in my living room. Like, this is what happened to me. But anyway, back to your story. You were going up. You had your first upset against that Wolf player. His name was Age.
Yes. I don't know what he's doing right now because I'm not really in tune with the NorCal scene. But yeah, that was an upset, and that got me into, I think it was winners top 16s. That'd be winners quarters, I think. Yeah, winners quarters. Okay. And I fight a Nest player who's a decent good friend of mine that I haven't talked to in a while. I lose, and I'm in losers ninths, I think. And it's 10 p.m. It's only a 32-man bracket. And
Damn, it's running long for 32 man.
yeah.
Jeez.
It was maybe 32, like 34. It was like decently small. Maybe it was 40. I don't remember. I can find it if I want to. Anyway, and I get a text from my ride who's saying, yo, Ike, it's time to go. And I'm like, but I can make top 8. And like top 8 was like this fictional thing of like, if you get top 8 at a tournament, you're so good, right? And it's like, you know, I wanted to make top 8, but it was a Friday night, yeah. But I think I was too young to be out that late.
How old at the
in terms
time?
of just like how our family wanted to
16,
have people
17?
home. Yeah, I was 16, 17.
Okay.
So it was weird. And I think I got the ride back. I was a little not salty on the car ride home, but I was like, you know, a little quiet for reasons. You're a moody teenager. I still probably am. Like nothing's changed. But that was the moment where I was like, dang, I really wanted it, right? But then I knew my time would come later. The game can wait. You know, it was a busy year anyway. I probably needed to be home safe. And with all the allegations that came out last year, right? It's just I totally understand. So it was totally fine. My family and parents are great. They're so smart. But yeah, so, and then now I'm in uni trying everything out. And I guess Smash is one of the things I want to take further. And that's what I did this past season. And I'm still competing, still practicing. Glitch Infinite.
Oh,
that was the Glitch Infinite. That was the Glitch Infinite.
I'm going to meet you there, buddy. I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm fucking down. So
Yeah.
it's great. Like, that car ride must have been like the fire that lit. Like, under your ass, you're like, that was my tournament to have. I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
I'm getting robbed of this by getting drove home. And now
sure.
I know I can. You got kissed by the fucking bug, you know? You're
Yes, exactly.
I want to take this and run with it. But that's all. I'm just surprised by that because most people would be like, "Oh, I lost. I didn't win." And then along come these Shoto mains. Like after having my Shoto Discord, I've just noticed that most Shoto mains are so different, just personality-wise, than most Smash players I've ever met. And my buddy Luke in the Discord. He's telling me, he's like, yeah, it's because we had to work way harder. We understand what it takes. We have to lose way more. It's not like you're just carried by a top tier and movement and hitboxes. No, you have to put a whole new understanding into these characters. So
and not only I'm gonna add on top of this, not only working harder, working differently. A lot of the game that Shotos play is different, sure, but I mean we still follow like we're not Steve. Like we don't follow the different rules of the game like Steve makes their own game. I say Steve, but there's a lot of other characters that do the same. I think Kazuya plays a completely different game. I think, you know, a lot of the Fighters Pass 2 DLC
Here's the difference. We have more respect for a Kazuya player than a Steve player.
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know, man. I got electric up smashed at 80 2 weeks ago by a friend of mine, my training partner, and I was like, dude, I don't know if I like this anymore.
That's so funny.
But
like,
no.
You'll space him out with fireballs to like the most like, I read you on your little reflector. Here's another Shakunetsu. Here's another Shakunetsu. and you got this like nice 90% lead, and then they get one electric off, and you're like, fuck. You're like,
Oh yeah,
wailing
it's
everything.
awful, but
It's
he's good. He'll be a terror in a few months. Don't worry. Anyway,
looking forward.
what I was saying was we had to work differently in that we still kind of abide by the rules of Smash. I think like we still like ledge trap, we still combo, we still follow DI with like up air ladders and stuff. We still do all that, but it's like if you took away a lot of neutral tools and kind of just gave us decent movement, and now we have to like work around it. I think I'm still an optimistic Shoto player. I think I am, but there's a lot of other Shotos that kind of disregard, I think, the flaws of our character, which I feel like not really Shotos talk about the flaws of like.
What would you say the flaws are, in your opinion? Because I talk to so many Shotos and they say something different, especially like when it comes down to flaws and advantage and matchups. I'm like, I know people who are like, oh, RYU destroys Game & Watch. And then I know kids who are like, I can't fucking get in, blah, blah, blah. Like the differing opinions from every other Shoto player is like wild.
Agreed.
So what do you see as the flaws?
I think I'm a pretty realistic Shoto player, or RYU player. I can't even say Shoto. I only play RYU.
That's what I'm talking
about. Realistic RYU player. I want to say I'm pretty realistic, okay? I think the flaws of the character, having played for a few months offline, played a lot of great players, great talent, there's a couple that are important, and I'm going to mention probably the most important ones off the jump. I think, obviously, mobility is huge, right? You're not as fast as other characters. That can be circumvented. I'll mention that. It's okay. You don't always need great mobility. I've seen Incineroar players do crazy things, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Mobility is one. Range is another. I think there's a lot of matchups where I'm playing around their range more than they're playing around mine, which is fine. That can also be worked around. a lot of what this is going to be is I'll mention a weakness, and I'll mention just like being able to player and push through it. I feel like because a lot of this game is just being able to be better than your player rather than the matchup. So hey, this set was the most recent one. I like this one. This is a good set. Anyway,
watching it.
So I just have the stream up in the back muted. Anyway, I think some mobility, range, and off stage are the big three. Being able to recover. However, I feel like all three of those can be circumvented. Then there's a couple like lighter things like SDI, but that can also be worked around. There's maybe I want to mention maybe one more that I'm thinking of off the top of my head, and it's like arguably it can be sometimes landing. I think in certain
landing
characters,
back to
right?
Stage,
Landing.
Depends on the matchup.
That's more matchup dependent, which is where like I'm crossing the line between like if I want to say this or not. But if we're working just off those 5 things, like I feel like a lot of it you can kind of work around it as a player and be better than your opponent at. So if your opponent's edge guarding you off stage, right? Yeah. Sephiroth's a big example. Like he's a huge example. He'll edge guard you in so many different ways. You can work around it if you know the limitations of your recovery. Like I think a lot of it comes down to how your opponent wants to cover your reasoning off stage, and then you kind of just cover a different angle, or you mix them up with timing, or you pick a different option that they're not ready for, or a lot of it just kind of comes down to being more aware of your options than your opponents. I think Ultimate's a game of options. I think a lot of it comes down to if you have more mix-ups in your bag, if you have more reads on your opponent, you should be able to bring out the dub on top, right?
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you on that too. But what I see when it comes to recovering is I'll see like my opponent on stage, off stage. If they're gonna move, I keep an eye on my opponent only. What was my last recovery option? I like have a Rolodex. What did I do? Oh, I went low and I sure you can up to snap ledge. So I know he's going to want to go down there thinking I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. So the mix-up would be what? Okay, you're going to jump, input Tatsu, control your angle a little bit more and catch him up. So constantly staying on the mix-up game of it. That's kind of what I see is just mixing up. Because people say Shotos don't have great recovery. I don't think so. I think they do because of all the stalling.
Wait a minute. Great is a very different word to be using here.
Great,
hold on.
It's fair. It's good if you know how to utilize it. Because you have Shaku stalling. You have movement with focus attack. I see the way Vendetta like kind of comes back to the stage and I'm like, that's a different way of looking at it. I can put that in my pocket and use it later. Especially he'll do like a jump, like off stage, off to the right, jump, focus attack, stall, and then move forward and come up from there. I'm like, that's a different way of doing it. So it's how you look at it, right? It's like how can you mix up your recovery to not get got?
Yeah.
Except for when you obviously need to use Tatsu, and you just get bodied every fucking
Oh,
time.
oh yeah. If your jump is gone, you should be dead off stage as a Ryu
No,
player, I think.
no matter what.
Yes. So yeah. Also, shout out to Vendetta. I love that guy, man. That guy's
Yeah,
awesome.
so humble, so humble. I'm always like floored by how like genuine and nice of a guy he is.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't.
and he's the growth mentality mindset to a T. He doesn't care what anybody's gonna say. He's still gonna grow regardless, and I'm so excited to hopefully meet him in January. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Get a couple offline matches against him because I had some on stream, but I'm like I discount him. We went back
Yeah.
and forth. He was literally right after first to 10, and he got done. And I just jumped in the arena and we went. And I finally took one game off him. I was like, fuck yeah. Oh. I had to document it, put it on YouTube, and be like, guys, I fucking did it. Dude, I did it. It's embarrassing. But also, I wanted to talk to you about your movement. Dude,
Oh boy.
I'm watching your Ryu sometime, like this past week, because everybody in the Discord was like, yo, you gotta watch Ikan. You gotta watch Ikan. So I'm watching your video. I'm like, he has the movement, dude. You can jump off platforms. You're zipping. You're dash walking. You're going back and forth. What are you practicing? How are you practicing to get that kind of movement down?
Oh man, I've gotten a lot of praise for this, and I'm always thankful whenever somebody says this because, I think to answer your question, I think a lot of it kind of comes down to experience in terms
Okay.
of like how long I've been playing the character, right? I think that's definitely something. But another thing that I've noticed is your movement should only be useful if you're playing around the range that your opponent wants to hit you at. So if you always notice against me versus
Okay.
Seth, I'm always kind of, in and out of his range, right? I'm kind of moving in and out.
Playing
When I get
footsies,
hit for it, yeah, when I get hit for it, that's like a mental reminder of how he wants to get that hit. Did he dash in to get it? Did he jump in to get it? Did he do that? And I kind of use that information as a way to get my in, right? Because let's face the fact, right? Objective, I'm the realist Shoto player, Ryu player. Sorry, I'm gonna mix that up. You have to get in as a Ryu player to get in to get any meaningful damage against the sword, right?
well,
It's
without a
true.
doubt.
It's fact. It is a fact, right? So we know that's the strength of the character. We know that's his win condition. How do we get that win condition? You'll see me use against in this set. Why I like it so much is because the option coverage is amazing. I decided when to shield. I decided when to parry. I decided when to jump. I decided when to roll in. I decided when to spot dodge. I picked all the right options in the right scenarios, and that's what won me the set in the clutch situations. So a
So
lot
it's
of
really,
people,
it's nothing
yeah,
like you go out of your way to practice. You're not like practicing like ledge slip cancels, any
no,
sort of
no,
like nothing.
no,
Really?
no.
Wow. It's literally just all
I
experience.
might do like maybe 5 or 10 minutes of training mode every couple days just to practice, right? But
Okay.
like I feel like at some point it just becomes like control of your character, and if you have the control of the character, you can do it. Like I feel like a lot of Smash players in general, and I think Shoto players as well, they'll be too quick to disregard an option because it's getting punished more often than others. So I see people disregard roll in tilts a lot. Like, don't roll in, don't roll in. Rolling in is predictable. It's bad. It's terrible. I'm like, okay, but it's still an option that can be used, right? And the thing about it is, Ryu low profiles during his roll. He can iframe through disjoints, which many characters have,
Hmm.
and he has the quick frame data to come out on top of scrambles if people like to jump or dash away. Okay,
True. Yeah,
there is
that's
a
true.
viable use to the move, but you'll also see in this that I get punished for it, and I also get success off roll in, right? Another one is the classic jump in there, right? Never jump in there, right? Never.
Hmm.
You should play a grounded footsie style all the time, like Street Fighter. Sure, you can, right? But when you're limiting yourself to that one type of play, I see a lot more predictability with the character, and I think that's where people start to, disregard Ryu's viability because he's predictable, right?
Oh yeah.
That's where I'm talking about the options and the mix that I've mentioned before, because you're always able to keep your opponent on your toes, and you become a lot more scary because your opponent will never know what trick you'll pull out of your bag.
Yeah. I've always heard that quote where it's like the fastest way to lose in a fighting game is become predictable. So constantly having a mix up and understanding situations is like vital, especially for
Yes.
like shotos, I would say.
Yeah.
But on top of anything, it's scary to know you have to have matchup experience and fight experience too. You have to
Yes.
understand like, okay, footsies is literally just run into your opponent's range, run out, make sure they whiff, and then capitalize off that. And a lot of people, I think they just, well, I'm not going to say a lot of people. I want to say a good amount of Smash players never really understood that concept. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I've seen a lot of. Like people just not understanding, oh, what is Unga Bunga? How do I get them on wake up? Blah, blah, blah. You know, like all the terminology, they just haven't spent the time to really process it and apply it.
I agree. I think a lot of that comes down to Smash is a different game than many other fighting games, right? And we're playing the Ryu, the fighting game Ryu in this different format, right? Well, I'll say this as well. I think a lot of the shotos they don't know how to balance. In my opinion, from my viewing, this is not to be critical. This is just what I see.
Oh, I'm getting critical with it.
Yeah. This they don't know how to balance between Street Fighter footsies and Smash style footsies. I think.
Would you say what is the difference between the two, just to give clarification?
Yes, for sure. Street Fighter footsies is Vendetta does it the best out of everybody. He'll walk, he'll dash, he'll micro, he'll always just be slow and turtling and doing what he has to do, right? That's fine.
He got flamed on Twitter the other day for displaying that. People were like, "What? What are you doing? You're playing against a 6-year-old?" I'm like, you guys don't understand.
My friend showed me. Was this the clip where it was the Ryu versus the Ken?
Yes.
And he was like, yeah. My friend showed me that at the local. Yeah. He was like, Ikan, what do you think? I was like, oh man, let him do what he wants, guys. It's okay. It's fine. He's good. He's just trying to showcase Street Fighter footsies. It's fine. Yeah. That's the perfect example, right? That tweet, right? Is perfect, right? Yeah. But Smash style of footsies is full hopping in, full hopping out, rolls, spot dodges, jumps, air drift, all that stuff that makes Smash, the platform fighter that it is, platform movement, right? So I saw that and I was like, okay, hold on. We need to start doing both of these, right? Because if we just do one, we're predictable. If we do the other, we're just predictable. Yeah, they both balance each other well. They both force different options out of the opponent because they're both different styles of play, right? So you'll see in a lot of my sets, actually. Oh, that was such a bad jump. Why did I do that? Sorry.
Sorry.
Got it.
You won this. Leave it alone.
Got it. Why did I do that? Anyway, it's okay. It's grand finals. It's like midnight here. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, a lot of players need to start, understanding the limits of their character, I feel like. And this is a good way to do that, right? Being able to kind of play this Street Fighter footsies and also the Smash style of footsies. Because let's face the facts. Footsies are pretty much the Shoto's neutral, right? Yeah. They don't have the crazy air drift, right? They don't have great disjoints, right? They don't have things that can be spaced, right? Or, well, they can, but it's kind of hard, right? They need to play footsies to get in, right? They need to, right? And a lot of the footsies comes down to their positional pressure in relation to their opponent, which Ronan will preach all the time. Shout out to Ronan. I love that guy.
Ronies. Right? Love Ronan.
Yeah, this is a really huge distinction. I'm going to go very, very briefly into it. When you are far away from somebody, there are going to be different options you want than when the opponent is close to you, okay? If Youngling's far away, what's he going to do? Fire arrow, boomerang, right? Okay. Yeah, when Youngling is close to you, what's he going to do? Nair, forward air, down tilt, spot dodge, right? Yeah. Okay. When you transition between those ranges, you start mixing up what the opponent wants to do at a certain range because they don't know what you want. Maybe you'll dash away, then dash in. Youngling sees the dash away, he's going to fire arrow. Oh, you're dashing in. You got your Nair. Nair down smash Shatsu. 45 damage, right? Okay. That's all footsies, right?
Very true.
And the thing with Smash, this is a really hot take, and I wonder if people are going to hold me to this, okay?
Okay.
Is the input delay in the game, actually, the 6 frames of input delay, actually allows for footsies to potentially be more effective because your opponent has to be preempting more options to punish you.
Okay. So, you think with a buffering system and input delay, we actually get some sort of an advantage.
We do, because sure, it's harder to control. I will completely agree. If we had less input delay, it'd be easier to control. However, once you realize your opponent also has to work around the input delay, and they have to punish this footsies guy who's dashing in and out of his range, he has to swing 6 frames in advance. And let's look at Sephiroth forward tilt. That's frame 14. You have to put that a third of a second in advance. A lot happens in a third of a second. Yeah. Okay. So nobody mentions that, but the input delay actually does matter a little bit for those burst ranges and for the options people want to put out, those disjoints, right? So when you start playing out of that range, you start mixing people up, you can kind of get in a little bit easier.
So you like you said, with Sephiroth's forward tilt, do you think poking is actually way harder according to that? Because now you have to predict, okay, he's going to be right here. It's either going to be shield or I'm getting the hit off, but I have to predict this half a second in advance.
The thing is, I feel like once you reach a level of awareness, it's not really predicting as much as it is you're going to be at a range where the option's covered regardless.
Okay.
So
yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to still be away from Sephiroth forward tilt to the point where if he does it, I'm still safe from it, and I can still punish if he does go for it. Right? So a lot of it comes down to awareness of ranges. I think shotos need to take advantage of that. If you're aware of the range your opponent covers, you'll be able to play around that and then get your footsie started, which is essentially your whole neutral. Right.
Now that there's like platform footsies and aerial footsies with like short hops and everything you're doing, how do you implement that? You say you don't practice any of that. But what do you feel like are like viable options? Because I usually look towards focus attack to kind of like, oh, I'm jumping in. No, I'm not. I'm jumping in. No, I'm not. Oh, now I'm jumping in. Here you go.
Well, hold on. I used to do the exact same thing. I used to like think focus was like this really great movement option to try and like bait out my opponent. But I feel like once you put one option more in higher regards than others, you start using it more, and hence you start becoming more predictable with it. So to me, it's nothing more than another option, right? But I'll still use it. You'll see me wave bounce focus all the time. I just did normal right there. But see, that got me in. I did focus, dash in, and then roll in down tilt, right? Yeah, that Tatsu is bad. But like, I'm using everything. You have to use all your tools. You have to use roll. You have to use spot dodge. You have to use jump. You have to use dash. You have to use dash walk. Maybe not. I don't use dash walk that much. A little bit sometimes. Very, very niche situation. But
I feel like dash walking is a little bit more viable with Terry for some reason instead of Ryu. Terry's my pocket, but like
dash walking is no different than just dashing and maybe running a little bit further. I feel like I don't know.
Getting a little bit of a slide out of it, and I feel like it's a little bit harder with like the shotos from me. I don't know. I think it's because of the light and heavy variations of the two.
Yeah, it's a niche tech. I don't think too highly of it, but I mean, it is there if you want to cover that medium space a little bit better. So yeah. But yeah, you have to use all your footsies, I think. And there are times when I play hyper aggressive, and there are times where I just sit back and wait 3 seconds and then walk, and then I decide to go in, right?
That's also a movement mix-up in itself, too.
It is. Timing is so important in Smash. Oh my god. Once you stop pressing a button for 2 seconds and analyze the situation, you can go so crazy.
Now, I got to talk to you about something because this is wild. Every time I see, you might have gotten off this last set that we were just watching, so many jab shoryukens.
Oh, yeah.
Why? It's probably my entire life, my whole Smash career with Ryu in Ultimate, somebody's been dropped out of that combo like none other. How are you implementing it with so much success?
Variety of reasons, actually. One, practice style, whatever.
Okay, break it down. Okay, break it down.
Yeah. 2, you can hold buffer jabs in this game. So if you let's take Mario jab, for example. You hit jab 1, okay? You hit jab 1, you release the button, and then you hold A. You'll buffer jab 2 and 3, just because of the thing, right?
Yeah.
So jab 1 to jab 2 has a 1-frame window where it needs to hit, okay? So if you mash A, you can have people drop out of it, right? If you hold but for shotos it's different because you have light and heavy. So you tap for jab 1, okay? Then you hold for jab 2, then you release the stick and you do shoryuken.
Oh, all right.
Release the button and do shoryuken.
Makes it a little bit more consistent.
It's very consistent, yeah. And why it's good is because various reasons. One, if you're looking for a set to put on, put on Mew versus Apollo Kage. That's a good set. Yeah. That's a good set. Ikan versus Apollo Kage. Put that up. I like watching that.
The snake. This is like a 60-40 matchup. In my opinion, that's all I think about. I'm like, my buddy plays a snake, and I'm like, he's got that grenade armor. I have such a hard time getting in and consistently having like some sort of like combo game.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as people say, but it's still good. Anyway, what were we talking about? Jab shuriken. So the down tilts and up tilts, they have more range, but the jab is really good in that it catches short hop and sometimes like the first couple frames of jump. Like it will catch, like, instead of jump squat 1, 2, and 3, it can catch 4 and 5. So it's got, it can catch that. It can also catch dash away a little bit more, so it just has more consistency there. And I feel like it's more consistent than the other tilt starters just off experience. I feel like I see less faults. I still have a couple. I still do. But I feel more confident in using jab because it's also just more reactable. And even though it's worse on shield, I feel like if I normally get the punish, jab or proximity forward tilt is better than all the other combo starters.
Okay, I'm going to try and implement that like a lot more. After watching your sets, I'm like, is there something I'm missing about this confirm? Everybody fucking falls out of it for me, and now I just found out what I was exactly missing. It's fucking ridiculous.
But you still mix it up. You still do down tilts. You still do up tilts. Just
yeah,
because up tilt up air is probably like objectively the best confirm. But I'm worried about short characters, and I like I like jab because it covers that too.
No,
So yeah.
it's funny you bring up tilt. I've been using up tilt like nonstop, especially since I got the
Mhm.
training mod pack, because I found
Mhm.
out that it can actually cover like rolls and
Yep.
jumps. It covers
Yep.
so much stuff. I'm like, how have I
Oh
not
yeah.
been using this properly? And went to a
Yeah.
local maybe like 2 weeks ago, and for the past month I've been implementing up tilt into, because people always air dodge on
Mhm.
Wi-Fi. They always air dodge out. And I'm like, here comes my fucking 40-50% punish. Here it is. And
Yeah.
I go to a local, nobody's air dodging at
Mhm.
all. So covering, like, I got to cover a jump afterwards and do all this other
Mhm.
stuff. So I'm trying to find ways to like extend my advantage game. Do you have any advice out there for anyone who's trying to like extend their advantage game?
Extending advantage, you have to separate between two things again. See right there, nair jab jab, down tilt would have missed there. See,
Mm-hmm.
got you. Just had to mention it. Sorry.
Just
Anyway,
point it out.
it just it caught jump. It caught jump. He was in the air, right?
Yeah,
Anyway,
fuck yeah, dude.
yeah, it's a nice hitbox. Anyway, so extending advantage state. I think you have to separate. So this is assuming after you've already gotten the hit. So it's not neutral. It's once you've already gotten the hit, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you have to separate between, I think, classic B&Bs that Ryu loves to do, or extensions off of stray hits into kind of like juggle situations, ledge traps, etc. So you have to separate between the two. B&Bs, once you get your tilt confirm, you get the B&B, then you cover space after. Standard, easy, good damage. No different than like a down throw forward air with Incineroar. It's fine. Okay.
Mhm.
But where advantage gets really spicy is when you start mixing up between normal B&Bs and trying to cover options out of disadvantage. So a lot of what advantage state is maximizing your inputs and maximizing your positioning to put your opponent in uncomfortable situations and then getting more damage out of it with your high damaging moves, right?
Mhm.
So the huge thing to realize with Ryu is he can do down tilt, hard down tilt, fireball, get his 25. Or he can do maybe down tilt, hard down tilt, run up, and try and cover a jump and get an up air Shoryuken. Or cover a dash away and fireball again. But this time you have more stage since you didn't do it off a cancel, you did it off a run up. Or maybe you can do down tilt, hard down tilt, dash grab, right? So a lot of it comes down to the option coverage, right? The opponent wants to throw out at you and then punishing it consistently.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. When you don't go for a B&B, right? You're going for advantage state. And advantage state is not 100% true against many different characters in this game, right?
Yeah, it's not a confirmed thing. You literally have to study your opponent,
yes.
what their usual options are when they're in defense. So it kind of comes down to that.
Exactly.
That's my thought.
It kind of comes down to more of reading the player rather than just inputting your confirmed like Street Fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're using your player understanding of what they like out of disadvantage, how do they like to cover their space, how do they like to keep Ryu out? That's also a very huge one, right? And use that to your advantage, right? I fought a couple zoners in Chicago, not many. Chicago's not filled with that many zoners. We're more sorties.
Lucky.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, we have no Sonics. Shout outs to that.
Too many here in Arizona.
Yeah. So a lot of it kind of just comes down to occupying the right space for your projectile or sortie person feels scared to throw something out because if they miss, they'll die, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it just comes down to understanding your opponent and then getting your confirms in an area where you feel comfortable punishing your opponent's options, right? Just be aware of what they like. Air dodge, jump, attack, right? Those are the main three. Special burst option with monkey flip or flip kick, right? Be aware of what options they like and then use your positioning to bait that option, then go for it. Simple.
Perfect. Okay, awesome, man.
Yeah.
Now, like, you're only solo maining Ryu. That's it, right?
Yes, I am a solo Ryu.
Love that mentality. Well, so am
Yes.
I. And then recently I kind of like, I'm making a Terry guide and I'm like, he's broken. Oh, shit. So
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
have a pocket Terry for my bad matchups. And now,
Nice.
like I said earlier, people always have a differing opinion on the bad matchups of Ryu. Not really like the Shoto. Most of the Ken players like keep it together. And they're like, oh, yeah, this one wins it. This one wins it. They're consistent around the board for their bad matchups. But with you, I want to know, how are you dealing with these shitty characters? I'm going to give you a list. Okay, we're going to start off.
All right, here we go.
Pikas.
Pikachu. I've only fought one or two offline.
Yeah.
So I guess my experience is sparse and few in between. But Pikachu is a character that um, kind of incentivizes trading, and it really focuses on how you got to get your hits in while trading with the multi hits, and especially out of shield game. Out of shield game is huge versus the rat, especially with
Okay.
up smash, up B, nair, and just like resetting with rolls and jumps. Do you want like my opinion on the matchup or
Everything. Like,
everything?
dump your information all over the
I
stream,
think
man.
it's either even or -1, which is fine.
You would say
Honestly, I like
even. You would honestly say even against the Reds. I know so many people having such trouble,
even.
me
I think
included.
like it feels it's one of those matchups where it's like a lot of Ryu's matchups come down to yeah, if you get your hits in, you win. If you don't, you lose. There's an old Trella tweet, old, and I've been citing this more and more after I found it. Um, it's I'm gonna recite it out for you. All
Go
right.
for it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Uh, okay, this is May 25th, 2016. Shout out to Trella, you're awesome.
You know the date?
May 25th, 2016. Are you ready? All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
All
ready.
right. Here we go. Almost everyone beats Ryu in theory. If your character has great mobility, multi hits, and a good grab game, the matchup is close. But when your character dies from 2 combos, superior frame data, range, and priority, you must ask yourself, do I really win? So, a lot of my opinion of matchups is kind of just coming down to just be the better player.
Easier
I
said
don't
than
really
done.
care. I don't
Wait.
care that much about matchup charts and all that stuff and tier lists because at the end of the day, I feel like we're all playing the same game. So if I can do it with Ryu, anybody can do it with anybody, right?
Yeah, I see it the same way. Like, it's just an opinion.
Yeah.
It's a
So I don't
man's
really give
opinion.
matchup ratios as much as I want to, but I would say like even -1 if you wanted a one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
I think of it like we all play this game so different. You're gonna play Ryu way different than how I play,
yeah.
than how Vendetta or Ronan's gonna play Ken. Like, whatever it comes down to,
Yeah.
it's always different. So people take these opinions and they like latch onto it. They're like, oh,
Mhm.
this is blah blah blah. You have to change your way of playing and kind of adapt on the fly. It's what makes you a good player. It's not buff anybody. It's not nerf anybody. It's adaptation.
No. Yeah.
Adaptation is like 100%. But what
Hmm.
about now? I want to know your thoughts. Also on Game and Watch, because I've made a video a long time ago. I don't know if you know this, but your boy Mackie T is a content creator. I kind of
Yeah.
threw this was before the training mod pack too. Found out that
Hmm.
Shakunetsu on bucket only leads to like
20.
20.
20. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
20. Yeah.
So I've been just utilizing that. It's changed the matchup for me. But
Yeah.
the up B's out of shields, the other things, how are you dealing with it?
So I personally think I suck at this matchup because I feel like I try to stay away from my game plan too much. I've lost to multiple game watches offline. One in Missouri, one who's now in MDVA, couple good game watches. A lot of the matchup I've been theory crafting, I've been playing, I've been trying to improve at the matchup because I think it's one of my worst actually. It's you got to play away from this character. If you are going in, you're losing against Game and Watch. And we are privileged in that we have a fireball that only does 20 and it forces him to do something about it. So how I've been trying to look at this matchup is stay away from him, fireball and grab. And if you want your tilt opening, you'll get it when you bait him to overextend and you get it off a spot dodge, roll, or a jump. That's it.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's
I'll
it.
try and keep
So
that in mind.
akin to Sephiroth, where you really only need 2 interactions to win, right? However, getting those 2 is difficult because you can't kind of play your standard, tilt on shield or nair on shield or whiff punish your nair with my nair
It's
or
so hard to get
a
it.
lot. Yeah, his
Just from
moves
all of
are
Sephiroth's toolkit, it's just
yeah,
so hard to get it.
it is. But not hard to get in. It's when you do get in, you'll never get a hit. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting
So
it.
yeah, so disjointed nair, disjointed back air, forward air bomb on shield. That's so stupid. I hate that so much.
So annoying. I always think I
Yeah,
could parry it,
forward
and I
bomb.
never parry
Yeah.
it. I'm so bad at it.
No, but this is where like activity is really important. You got to see that bomb coming down, and be like, I'm gonna up air you for it. You're in lag for that bomb. Hit him, right?
Mhm,
Don't let him
mhm.
set up free shield pressure. It's terrible. Yeah, it's doable. And the worst part of that matchup is not even juggling; it's off stage. Up B, back air, and down air
Yeah,
are really good against the Shotos, and a lot of it comes down to You can iframe through the back air with Tatsu. You can air dodge to the ledge. You can jump focus through a down air. You can focus through an up B. There's a lot of niche little interactions that can help you out, but a lot of it comes down to you don't want to be off stage in the first place because you'll probably die. You're put in a 33, 33, 33 situation where if you go high, mid, or low, you will die.
Yeah, no matter what, off stage you're gonna have a fucking. It's gonna
If the
be
Game
a
Watch,
bad time.
if the Game Watch can react, of course, we're acting a lot of Game Watch players. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with the last one.
Sure.
Sonic.
Oh, man. All right. First or second worst matchup for Ryu, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's no reason he should be near you, and there's no reason he should be getting hit along with Zero Suit. However, there's always a however when you talk to me. There's always a however.
There's always an option, something that you found out.
There's always an option, right? And you got to take it to the moon.
There's a reason I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, there's always an option. Sit in the center and wait. Throw fireball, kind of mix up when you want to throw it. Hold shield, let him come in. When he goes in, try and either catch him on his way out or try and cover him before he comes in with like a nair. Nair only has 5 frames of landing lives, so you can kind of like nair hop, and if you like hit him with the nair, you get 30, right? At the ledge, he's actually not that good.
Really?
And spot out, yeah, he's not. Because he can jump and he can kind of mix with his jumps, but his air drift is not the best. And he can homing attack to mix you up, and he can spin charge through you, which is like the worst option. Because you can't really deal with it that well without a preemptive attack. But spot dodge, homing attack. Don't let him get free shield pressure. That's huge. Spot dodge, nair, and fireball the game, and try and hit him. If you hit, you win. If you don't, you probably were gonna lose anyway.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's doable. It's so doable. Oh, this is also the matchup where stages are like one of the most important.
Okay,
you want like Battlefield, Story, Smashville, Bastion, small Battlefield. He wants FD Kalos Town.
Okay, he wants a flat, a lot of places to run, a lot of get away, not a lot of platforms.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of keep it at Yoshi's and triplats.
Yeah. They'll usually probably ban Battlefield, Story, Smashville, so you'll probably get a die plat in small Battlefield or PS2, and you'll probably ban FD Kalos Town, so you'll probably get small Battlefield or PS2, which is usually how this game works out. But yeah.
I gotta ask you, because I know a lot of kids that have rituals before they go into tournaments. Are you one of them?
Rituals. Are you talking in terms of like things they always do?
Yeah, like do you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna eat oatmeal, I'm gonna drink green tea, and I'm gonna have like blah, blah. You know, like those what do they call them? Like it's our mojo. I gotta get my mojo.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything like that?
You know, I hate to be boring, but no. The worst. Okay, back when I was like in high school, starting to compete, I would always listen to like a mentality like practice video of like just like get your mentality feeling good, right?
Hell
do all that.
Yeah. Okay.
It would just feel good to like feel that, right? I'd be like this little 17-year-old kid who's playing Free Patch RYU is like, yo, his mentality. I'd feel like crazy. It was like feeling high. I don't know, right? Whatever.
I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Who you listening to? Was it like Eric Thomas or was it the other guy?
Dude, it was some random YouTube video. I don't even know.
Like
it was
motivational YouTube. Yeah.
Just random nature, good music. It was so nice. But no, now that I've been competing more offline, nowadays it's just go through your day, see who's going to bracket, catch a ride with some friends, hang out, go play, go get some food after, head home, and go to the next day. It's pretty standard.
You're not doing like as they call it, the fart. It's like the forced adrenaline rush technique.
Dude, oh my god, my friend Thomas told me all about this for the longest time. No, I don't do that.
Do you believe in that though? Like you give yourself the adrenaline and now you're in the fight or flight kind of situation?
I personally think it just makes people try a little harder because they have something on the line now that they've done something. So
yeah, they have to live up to the expectation.
I think that's it. My friend Thomas, he'll preach all the time about it. He'll be like, yeah, you got to do it, right? You got to.
Thomas.
Yeah,
have you tried it?
Thomas.
Dude,
no.
we should go to Glitch and just fucking do it.
No, dude, I'm gonna be exhausted after round 1. I'm gonna be like, bro, I don't want to play anymore. I'm just gonna go get some food. Let me chill. I'm gonna get a burger or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I need an Advil. I've been fucking hyperventilating this whole entire time.
Yeah.
Here's another question I have for you. Why do you not have a Twitter? I see so many tournament results that show Ikan first place. It's like you're not tagged. I'm like, where is this man?
Yeah, I knew this was coming. I already had a response prepared. So
Oh, the hard
okay,
Ryu.
so yeah, I knew this one. This is always a question everybody asks me. Always, always. It's this one and why do you play Ryu? So this one's the one I'm always ready for. So I never got on Twitter back in Smash 4. I never did because it wasn't really popular. Ultimate comes out and Twitter I already see really early on. It's like the basis for where everybody passes information, right? For like the Smash community. But I personally have never really been a huge social media guy. I don't have Snap. I don't have Insta. I don't really have much, right?
Smart, very
So
smart.
I kind of saw that and I was like, it's fine and all, but I don't really feel a need for it. Um, but the big thing was I was like, oh, I want to feel integrated in the Smash community, so I should get one. But then I realized if people want to send me stuff on Twitter, like send me like a link, I can just check the link without like actually
Getting an
like
account.
interacting with it. So I can still see like results and I can still see like, all that. So I was like, okay, there's not really a need to interact. I don't really feel the need to build a brand right now, at least. So I'm just here to compete. So I kind of like, not really having a Twitter. And then I came to Chicago. That was like the mentality before I came to Chicago. Then I came to Chicago and um, all the result pages would just have everybody's Twitter and there'd just be Ikan. Okay. So one of the TOs at one point, he put Ikan with a period. And then everybody started putting Ikan with a period. And now anytime I play in a tournament and I'm on a top 8 graphic, Chicago and the Midwest just backs me up with Ikan and a period.
Icon period.
So it's just Ikan. Yep. And that's it. So yeah, I mean, I guess part of my quote unquote brand or persona is not having a Twitter. But then you'd think, oh, maybe this guy's.
Like, you think it's a good idea to keep it that way now that you have a lot of exposure, man.
Oh yeah,
I was thinking saying that you're the best Ryu player out there, without a doubt.
That's such a great compliment.
Isn't that great? I would cry that day if I got that. I'd be like, oh shit.
That's a compliment of lifetime, man. Thank
Exactly,
you.
coming from him,
Yeah.
but at the same time, now that you have a lot of notoriety, people want to know, like, if you're like what your thoughts on some things are, blah blah blah. And I got a Twitter. I'm not really on there a ton, but I just kind of go in, checking what's going on with people, what tournaments are happening, who's winning some results. You don't have to keep it to like that awful hellscape that Twitter is, where everybody's got a shitty opinion. And it's
that was one of the big reasons, right? I didn't really want to feel the need to project my opinions to people who may not understand my character or me as much as I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a huge thing. But going back to the question, yeah, I mean, it would be nice to kind of build a brand and kind of get started, but right now, I mean, I'm just a college student. I don't really feel the need to be distracted with any big thing happening outside of tournaments. I kind of just want to play and improve, and I don't really see the need in it right now. So maybe later on, if the line comes down, but right now I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at, and I kind of like just being me, I guess, right? I don't know. It's good because people would assume, oh, he doesn't have a Twitter. He's probably not very social. He doesn't want to talk that much. I love people so much. But
that's good to hear.
I grew the quarantine and the COVID kind of made me realize in-person interaction
like you miss it.
I missed it before and I missed it even more after. That's the crazy part, right? I love talking to people. I'm such a social individual. I love it. I'm such a huge extrovert. People are awesome and I can have a lot of fun with a lot of cool people. So I'm totally down to just like talk to people. But when it's on Twitter with limited characters and, of very different people, right? People who have different bases, different backgrounds, different beliefs, different identities. It doesn't really feel conducive to be able to talk and not being able to project myself the way I would in person. So,
exactly. Yeah, there's like a cadence to what you say. There's intention behind the way you say the word that you want to say.
There's facial expressions.
Body language. There's so much that goes into it, and it's just limited by. And you also have 140 characters that you're supposed to convey your whole entire thought around. Get me the fuck out. That's the shit I don't use Twitter for. I literally just use it just to be like, this is this. Okay, that's happening this weekend. This guy won. I'm out of here. But I definitely understand if you want to stay away from it. Like, that makes complete sense to me, especially like social media just in general. It's just a toxic wasteland of people's thoughts, thinking that, and getting approval through likes and the dopamine rush that happens through that. Get it out of my face. I don't need that. Mm-hmm. I don't need people's approval. I'm just going to do what I do. That's my mentality going into it. Yeah. Now, another question I have for you.
Oh, I want to cut you off real quick. In regards to time, I know I said originally it was only 1 hour, but I actually did my work today, yesterday, so I got more time, so I'm good.
All right, awesome, dope.
I'm down to talk as long as you want to talk. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'll give you another, like, we'll do like another 15, and then I got to pee so bad afterwards.
Got you. No problem.
Now, do you see Twitch streaming in your future?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing with that. Okay, I've also thought about this, and I was like, streaming would be really awesome, right? But then there were 2 or 3 things that I was thinking about that kind of actually made me not want to do it right now.
Okay.
One is college students, right? It's kind of hard to find time to stream, right? It's hard with dorm Wi-Fi. It's hard with like, I'm still young. I'm still trying to figure things out. So I don't really feel the need to spend 2 hours every 3 days, kind of just like hopping on and just playing Wi-Fi for 2 hours. I don't really want to play Wi-Fi either. So
I know.
that leads into my second point, which is I don't really like Wi-Fi, and I kind of stopped playing after the Kazuya patch. I tried them out, and I haven't played anything else of Wi-Fi since July.
Really?
So no, nothing.
Wow, that's a very smart move, I would say.
Yeah, and I think my play's actually heightened a lot since then. So it's kind of crazy. And plus, being around people and playing in person is just so much more fun. So
no, have you heard of Parsec? Parsec and Yuzu?
I have, but I also really don't feel like setting it up.
Dude, it's a bitch. Like you have to go
this
through
is like
it
the teenager
again.
in me. You know?
Oh my god. My buddy was showing me how to set it up, and I kind of have it on my computer, but it's not running as smoothly as I want, so I still have to do a ton of other shit. But it is a more optimal way of playing instead of. But you also need a computer, you need a rig that can run it, you need good Wi-Fi, and then you also have to fight only people in your region. So it's like a whole workaround just to get some good matches in.
See, here's the problem with that. Why would I even want to spend time doing that and playing with people in my region when I could just go to Ignition every Wednesday? Yeah.
Very
right.
true.
I'll take the hour train ride to go to Ignition. That's fine. Like, let me just do that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
But you like, how many more years do you have left with college?
I'll be here for a while. So I got probably 3 more until. So I'm currently a second year, so I'm like 19, right? I got to do my this year, then 2 more, and then I'm probably gonna be here for grad school for a year or 2. So I'll be here till I'm like mid-20s.
All right.
I'll be here for a while. Yeah.
It's gonna be dope. Living in Chicago, moving from Northern California, going to Chicago, and just living it up in the Smash community, making memories, seeing new people, especially you loving being around new people and talking. It's like such a great thing for you. Now, here's the ultimate question that I wanted to ask you. What do you want from this game? Like, what do you plan to do with your ultimate career?
God, dude, I was thinking about this too. Like, it's really, really hard. My early goals back when I was in NorCal was be PR in my region / have consistent offline tournament results, which I just did this summer, right?
Nice.
Got ranked 4th in the region, so
congratulations.
That's good. Thank you. I'm slated for top 2 right now if we keep it up. So, but I don't know how this season's up, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And the other one was going to my first major. So the thing is, my first major is looking already to be slated to be Glitch Infinite, right? So because I'm on the compendium, and shout outs to that, Chicago in the Midwest has gassed me up so much, and I can't thank them nearly enough for all the stuff they've done for me. Awesome. They're really, really awesome. And those are my 2 initial main goals, and now I'm nearly complete with both of them. So now I'm like, okay, let's get some new goals. But I don't know. I really don't know. Right now, I'm kind of just like competing, improving, and playing for majors. It seems like the next logical step is, I talked about it with my friend back in before I came for my second year of uni. It's
PGR.
It's looking like get out-of-state wins, and then what leads to out-of-state wins? How do you get those? Majors. What happens when you do well at majors? You get PGR. So
comes down to that. So it sounds
I guess that's about it, right? Yeah, I think that's literally it from a competitive side, right? And then after that, it's just content. You have fun with the game from there, right?
It sounds like you just have a passion for the game. Like that's
I
not
love
like
the game. Like
a true intention. Like starting out, you just like, I love this game. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna improve myself the best of my abilities that I can, and that's it. And now you got to a point where you're like, oh shit, I'm pretty fucking good now. Yeah,
it's possible. That's the scary part. Like the only PGR rep I've fought so far is Ned, and I mean, he first off, me and him are really like good homies. I love talking
That's
to that
awesome.
guy. He's such a great guy to be around, and I'm really thankful that I even have competition like that in my region to be able to practice consistently. It's wonderful.
Mm.
So he's great, and he's pioneering the Sephiroth meta. Shout outs to him. But yeah, it's weird because I feel like I'm coming from this like to cut it back to like when I was in my high school years when Ultimate came out, and it's crazy because people are like, "Oh man, PGR, can you imagine being there?" And it's like, I think it's possible. Like it's weird to be like 2 years down the line, a whole quarantine time skip. Like I could do it. It's possible,
Yeah.
right? And I have a passion for the game, and not even just the game. Like I've done commentary like a lot this summer over at Ignition. I would commentate a
No
lot of sets,
joke.
even my college. I would like sometimes commentate sets there. I love commentary, and people like listening to my commentary, so I'm happy doing that.
That's
Um,
awesome, dude. Fuck yeah.
so that's always great, and I don't really know what's next in future after competition. I don't really know. I kind of just I'm really in a good space right now. I have a lot of good people who want to support me, and it's kind of nice that I don't really have a huge brand right now, I think, because I feel like when you have a brand like that, it's kind of hard to like maintain that and be a competitor because people, really look forward to seeing you. And I don't really want to let a lot of people down because I play for myself anyway,
The
right?
added
So,
pressure. Yeah. A lot of
yeah,
added pressure to everything. You have
yeah,
like
it's
a
a lot of
expectation.
pressure you don't really need. I'm just kind of playing for myself. I'm just this college kid from Chicago who's just playing for you. Like that's it. Like that's all I am, right? And I just want to hang out, have a good time, meet some friends, have some good dinners, eat Wendy's at 1 a.m. after winning a local. Shout outs to
Uh,
that. Totally didn't happen this past ignition.
fuck
McDonald's,
yeah.
not McDonald's, not Wendy's. Sorry. Yeah.
No. Wendy's is
Yeah.
higher tier. I love me some Wendy's. I'll
Yeah.
down a Dave's triple just by myself. I'll inhale it like Kirby.
Yeah.
I'm fucking. Oh. But that's
Yeah.
all. It
I'm just
sounds like your mentality is like that's what's carrying you. You have like this optimistic kind of look. You're not like disparaging on anybody. Like I can't tell you
no.
how many people do have that mentality where like, oh, he's trash. This guy's fucking trash. Blah blah blah. This is that.
Oh no, no, no,
But
no.
your mental state is strictly like improve myself, do the best I possibly can, and come home with a W.
Yeah, for sure. And there are definitely people that, there might be some people that maybe don't know of me or maybe don't know enough about me to warrant a full opinion of me, right? Some people,
Mhm.
may like, dislike, don't want to talk, all that, right? Regardless of what other people think, I think I'm kind of just playing and enjoying this game because I feel privileged to be able to even play this game when it's alive and it's got so many different aspects to it that I enjoy, right?
Yeah.
So I feel lucky enough to just kind of play, surround myself with some good people, and just have a good time with Ultimate. There's no reason not to, right? Everyone's
Right.
here playing this game, enjoying. There's no reason that we shouldn't, have fun with it, right? It's just a game at the end of the day. I don't know, weak mindset, ninja tweet, whatever, right? It's a game, it's fun, and there's no reason we should not be having fun with it, right?
Exactly. It is just game. Why be mad? I always think about that one hockey player after that game. It's just like some dumb quote
Yeah,
that some hockey player had. It's just game. Why have to be mad? You'll enjoy it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very true.
Yeah,
But I
you can
also
meet a
like,
lot of people through this game. You can do a lot of cool things. Sorry, what's
yeah.
up?
Oh, I've always heard like that, especially after watching the Melee documentary and then the one that came after that. They're like, I've had the best times of my life. Like I've met some of my best friends that are still my friends for like 8 years now because I've been going to tournaments, because I've run into these people, because we hung out for such a long time and grinded the same game. People that you never thought you'd be friends with, you're like friends with for life, just from going
Exactly.
to it and having these experiences. Now, I
Yeah.
want to know, another big question is, who are
Mhm.
your inspirations? Who are the
In terms
people
of
that
Smash?
in Smash? We'll start off with Smash. Give me like
Okay.
your top. We'll do three. We'll keep it light, and then
Let's see.
afterwards we'll do just don't even have to be related to Smash.
Okay. So I think inspirations. All right. This is an obvious one. Everyone knows I'm gonna say it. It's Trella. Like it
Oh, I
has
thought you
to
were gonna
be,
say
right?
Mackie T. I was like, oh, fuck.
No, no.
No,
Oh man.
Trella for sure.
Everyone
Those
everyone
Smash
knows
Four
it has to
days.
be Trella. So let's put it into a comparison for the time frame. Trella competed 2015 to around 2017 when he stopped with around Civil War and CCC2, Clash City, Way Beat Zero. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
So he was there for around 2 years. I was literally in my early high school years during those years. So I was watching essentially the guy who invented Smash for You, right?
Yeah.
Play, compete, understand, and I saw all that, right? And that was inspirational when you're something like that young, right? You're watching. this beautiful, wonderful like uh
Just the
player.
movement,
This
the
this
setups, everything. It was
yeah,
wild to watch him. Him and
yes.
Hooded, I was like, what is happening? I saw
Yeah, hooded
their
man.
dude, their ditto was like, how are you even playing like that? What are these
Yeah,
control?
they were hitting Descending Dragon threes. I was like, what's
Yeah,
happening? Oh my god.
footstool
So
combos. Oh,
yeah, yeah. So being that young and picking up the character and just kind of like understanding that, that was inspirational for me to be like, wow, imagine pioneering this character at that level. Because when you're young, this idea of like top level Smash is just so alluring. And now that I'm here, it's kind of crazy to just kind of see it, right? But yeah, for sure. Trella's one. I love that guy, and I'm hoping that I even get to even like talk to him at some point. I hope maybe I can get some kind of contact. That would be inspirational to be able to talk to somebody like that.
now correct me
Um,
if I'm wrong. Isn't he playing again? I've heard something where he's in
I've heard
Texas, right?
he's in Texas. I heard he's playing a little bit of Sora a little bit from a friend of mine. I think he's just trying to play for fun casually. I'm not sure if he has any intention of competing, which I totally understand. Um, but if he is, I mean, I'd like to meet him one day. I don't know. If he's hearing this somehow, he's awesome and a great inspiration. But yeah, not even just in the game. Like I remember watching interviews of him where he was just so like open and so clear and aware and just wanted to just have a good time and enjoy the game. That was really huge for me. So
Awesome,
yeah, that's definitely one. That's the biggest one for sure.
without
In
a
terms
doubt.
of other inspirations, like he invented like my character in this game. Like he pretty much pioneered like the start of it. Like there's no reason I can't not mention him, right?
Oh yeah, I can't talk to
um,
a single Shoto main from like the Smash 4 days and was like, they all hype up Trella
oh yeah,
nonstop.
for sure,
I
for
remember
sure.
seeing tweets and people being like, who was your inspiration? 90% were like Trella hooded, blah blah blah, and it just
Yeah,
kept going on.
yeah, for
Literally.
sure.
So,
Very smart, very great guy. Yeah,
who are the other two?
this is gonna be hard. I
Okay.
think, man, I don't really know. So it's kind of hard to pick other people because I feel like I need like a list of players and I'll look through them. But I really did like. So that's like more of a competitive side. Let's lighthearten a little bit. Let's do a little bit more content.
Sure.
I was always a fan of Nairo, I think. And seeing his whole arc after all the allegations coming back up and finally finding his own shell in content creation is really awesome and nice to see. I think he was definitely the guy who kind of was just like every time I tuned into a Nairo stream, it was always just banter and always fun, and it kind of reminded me to have fun with this game, right? Not be too competitive, right? Just kind of
Yeah,
have fun
enjoy
with
it.
it,
Yeah.
enjoy the experience because at some point the game might die, right? At some point, the community might, falter. At some point, opportunities may go away. Just appreciate the time you have.
Yeah.
So that was huge.
I think about that a lot too. Like
Yeah.
what would be the lifespan of this game? But then I look at like League of Legends and people still playing StarCraft too, but it's not like a huge amount. But
Hmm.
there's still always kind of gonna be a life until the next one comes out.
It's
But
true.
it's just wild to think that there's like a limited amount of time that you have with this game, you know?
Agreed.
It's
Yeah.
not like soccer or like football or basketball that it's just like a timeless thing that you can just keep going to like tournaments and having a great time. There would be a time where this like ends. That's I don't know. It kind of makes me a little bit sad, but
Hmm. Yeah.
I
But we're here to enjoy it now. And I think there's no
that's
reason,
that's
right? There's no
why
reason
you're a
not to.
top player because you can have that mentality of being like, oh yeah, that's why we're here now. We're enjoy it while it lasts, savor it.
Yeah,
Everything.
for sure, right? I mean, there isn't a lot of money in the Smash scene. I feel like there's, if you're playing for money, you're kind of doing it wrong, right? So it's like
Mm,
just have fun with it, right? Just enjoy it. Like be glad that you're able to be challenged by such awesome players, right? And be glad that you're given an opportunity to show your stuff on like streams or like in content, right? It's just a game, but the community behind it is so passionate that there's so many opportunities you can take if you just look right in front of you.
hmm It's spoken like a true RYU man. You're in it for the
Yeah,
challenge. You're in it for the
yeah.
challenge.
Yeah, right? No reason not to. So let's throw Nairo in. I honestly kind of want to say this is gonna be a weird one, but I kind of want to say Ned. I don't know why.
No joke,
Um,
really.
I think the reason is I got to know him a lot over the summer, and um, I don't know. I think the big thing was it's weird. So I remember watching old Ryu VODs way back in like my freshman year bio class. I remember just like watching Ryu VODs. I'm like, I would look up Ryu Smash YouTube, and I just like try and watch Ryu to improve my Smash 4 Ryu, right?
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of Ryu players, and actually one of them I got to meet. He's retired now, but he's still a part of the community. Is Shell. Shell is a Midwestern Chicago Ryu player from Smash 4, right? And he didn't go to a lot out of state for sure, but he was really integrated with the Chicago scene. And I remember watching his sets with Ned and watching this Ryu fight this Cloud, right, and get uppered over and over and not land because of cross slash. It was funny. But I was like, wow, man, like I think that was the moment where I really appreciated like being able to outplay my character because Ned was moving all over this Ryu, man. I tell you, right?
Yeah.
And he was just so good of a player that he could even beat one of my idols, right? Who was Shell, right? Who was really good and a great Ryu player, right? So then 4 years down the line, now I'm in Chicago. I'm the guy who's about to fight Ned with a different character, but sure, competition is one thing, but getting to meet the guy outside and talking to him about majors, and since it was my first offline real season and he's been competing since literally early Smash 4, and he's not that much older than me, it was kind of nice to see this, conversation about this new blood, right, versus old blood. He had to mentor me about like how he felt at majors, how he felt about being PGR. We had him stay over a couple nights and just talk and play. Like, I feel like there's just times where he's very, very chill. And I think he's kind of like the hallmark of like, where do you go after being good in your region? You just go out of state and you make top 32 at every single major you go to, and you're like a threat and you're pioneering a character's meta. Like, I feel that kind of with Ryu. Like, we talked about it before. We were like, wait, we're like really good of our character. Is there much better than us? And we were like, not really. Like, yeah, Vendetta, yeah, Munikin, yeah, Nairo, yeah, Tweak, but like, we're like really working for our characters. And I think once we had that conversation, I really appreciated it. He's still a little shy. I'll say that. He's shy. But he doesn't think he's shy. He is shy, though. I'll say it.
You're calling him out right now. God damn it.
I'll call him out. No, but he gave us rides to Ignition. He was always there to talk. And once I got to like mentor him and ask him, once he got to mentor me and ask me about all this kind of stuff, and I asked him more questions back, it was really, really nice. I just liked being around a guy who's that good at the game, that humble, that chill, but also able to kind of help me outside of the game. So
that's awesome, man.
Plus, it's a local representative. I think it also adds some bias. So
that's like such an inspiration because now you can take that mentality and put it towards someone new that you see has a lot of potential. Like now you have this power to do what your mentor did for you.
Yes.
And I think that's wild because you're having rapid success. Who wouldn't want to be like mentored by Ikan? Period.
Yeah. Yeah. I have given some good, helpful tips to a lot of players, and they're like, "Yo, Ikan, you should be a coach." And I'm like, "Metafy?"
I would definitely try it out, but that means you have to get back on Wi-Fi.
No. Stay away. I'm staying away. I'll Metafy in person. I'll offer Ikan's coaching in person, bro. Got it. Free.
Done. If you're in the Chicago area, call up Ikan.
Yeah. Give me 30 minutes of your time, $5 of coaching, bro. I'd be down to make an extra $20 at events. It's fine. Pay for my Wendy's. Pay for my McDonald's.
That's it. DoorDash me some goddamn McD's and I'll teach you everything you need to know.
No, yeah, for sure. It's just I hate to circle it back, but it's just crazy to think like so much has happened in the past year for me in Smash, and I was a Wi-Fi Steve player in the collegiate scene for like to screw around because I didn't want to play Ryu on Wi-Fi. And then offline tournaments came back and I just showed my stuff, and I'm really happy I got the opportunity to play offline, and being able to potentially say you're on track for your first major of 2022, right, is really absurd because I never thought I'd be traveling out of state for this game in my life, dude.
And I'm so happy for you on top of that because my whole Discord, we worship these FGC characters, and to see this meta being pushed so like, for lack of a better word, elegantly, like with all your movement setups, ledge trapping, everything that you have is like such an inspiration for us to keep continuing. Because on the daily, I'll hear, I think I'm going to drop him. I think I'm going to drop Ryu. I think I'm going to drop Ken. These matchups, blah, 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 blah. And to see the results you're getting is like, no, it's fucking possible. Look at this shit. This is a real thing. You can do it. He's a human. You're a human. You can do it.
Yeah. Dude, people are doing it with Incineroar, man. That character's like
I saw those clips of like, holy shit, what is going on?
And this is a movement-based game, bro. You seen that character's movement stats?
That's so fucking funny. God
You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
But you can still do it. They still do well.
Yeah. It comes down to mentality. How you feel about it, man. It's everything. So
Hmm.
I'm glad to have you here, dude, talking about all this shit. Let's do this more in the future.
I'd be down. Yeah, for sure. I think I'm
Let's
always happy to just kind of talk, and I don't know. Maybe it's kind of nice to be able to kind of like have a little, not branding, but it's just like nice to be a little guest and feel like wanted, I guess, on a platform, I
yeah,
guess,
without a
right?
doubt, dude.
Yeah.
On this stream, you're always welcome. The door is
Thank
always
you.
open. If you want to, like, here's a thing we can do. If you're really
Mm.
down for it, since you don't want to play Wi-Fi, you can get.
No.
I can have people send in VOD reviews, and you can review them. Pause it. We can chat about it. It's just something to think about in the future if you have time, because I know you're going to college and competing. So, like, whenever you have free time, that's something we can set up, or we can like bullshit some ideas. We'll talk back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. I always like I want to help out shotos. I think it'd be very nice, right? Just to kind of fix people's play and maybe because bro, you don't want to see me back in Smash, bro. My first year competing or my first year playing Wi-Fi, man, I could not play this game for the life of me. But
The 0 and 2 kids, me and you,
yeah,
dude.
dude, Wi-Fi. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, Wi-Fi, so many Wi-Fi characters back and forth. So I remember getting backered by Cloud at Ledge, and I was like, dude, maybe this game isn't for me, man.
It
Oh
was the up airs
man.
that got me. Oh my god, those cloud up airs. I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh
fuck
god.
this. This is such a
No,
bad dude.
the thing is, I know for sure, like, if there's somebody who can teach other shotos at such a better, he's better as a teacher, and I will always like crown him for this. It's always Vendetta. I think literally he's so good at being able to kind of convey ideas and understanding of the characters to such a good T for both Ryu and Ken, right?
Nah.
So having at least like one of us or like a really great player being able to just kind of showcase and you know present themselves, right, is really really huge, and I'm really thankful that he's able to do that. As much as I'd love to do it, it's always hard to find time. But if I ever get a VOD and I feel like, instead of doing an econ piece set, I'll go and look over some stuff. I don't mind. I think it'd always be really, really fun to just kind of look over and appreciate Shoto play, right? Help people out, feel good.
That's great, man. Giving back. This man right here, everybody. God, wish there was a way that everybody in the stream can like follow you somehow, but just give him praise. Watch his VODs. What a guy! Come on.
Yeah.
The-
Watch the winning and losing VODs. There's a lot of good stuff in both of them. I've come a long way. Please
very
don't just
true.
watch the W's. Please watch the L's. You learn so much. It's absurd.
You can't just watch your winning VODs. Then it's just like a
Oh.
jerk off for you're like, I'm so good. Look at me. I'm so this is
Yeah.
great. No, you have to understand what you're doing wrong in matchups. That's one thing I found out in the Smash 4 days that helped me a lot with Ryu. Now, okay,
yeah.
last question I have for you. Are
Yes.
there any heads that you're looking to hunt? Any top players that you're looking just to like, I want that victory so bad.
Oh man. See, here's the thing, right? I haven't gone out of state. So it's like a lot of my wins in Chicago are kind of just like Chicago wins, right? Well, we have some invaders, right? We had Miss Erica come by for an ignition. We had Apollo
cool.
Kage. We had a couple good players, a Comet from Wisconsin. So there's invaders in the Midwest, but in terms of players that I want to beat, I want to fight characters or players that are better with characters than people in my region. So, for example, I fight a lot of Roy because there's a Roy player named Revolver. He got 5th last season. I love that guy. We're like literally like super chill. Like I love seeing him. He just went out to main stage. He had a great time. It's awesome. I want to fight a better Roy. So I think Cola or Goblin would be nice. Another one is there's a Greninja player named Ice Knight. He got 65th at main stage. He's 10th in Chicago. I want to fight like better Greninjas. I want to fight like Schroeder. I want to fight Leia, right? I want to fight. There's not really much of a better Sephiroth. I fight Yumu and Dan, Mario players all the time. I want to fight better characters, or better players. It's like Dark Wizzy.
You want to take that Mario?
Yeah, Dark Wizzy. Who's another good Mario? I'm forgetting. There's the other one, right? Dark Wizzy.
That's the only one I know. I don't know a lot of Mario names.
No, wait, hold on. There's another one. Master Mario from SoCal, right? I want to fight more Marios, right? Kurama. Sorry, how am I forgetting Kurama? He's literally NorCal. Dark Wizzy or Kurama.
Oh,
I want to fight.
He just took on.
Yeah,
He
how am I
just
forgetting?
beat,
I was like, there's another one. Yeah, how am I forgetting?
almost beat Fatality. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Kurama.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Dark Wizzy or Kurama. Literally NorCal, right? I want to fight either one of those, right? Who else is like really good in my region that I want to fight? I fight Arcdice the Falcon a lot. I want to fight Fatality once. I think that'd be really nice.
That would be
I want to
sick. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Hopefully
The
he
trend is
shows up.
essentially just like better or more ranked or more well known players of these characters that I fought a lot in Chicago. I've already fought Mabel, the best Dr. Mario in the world. You heard it from me first. Shout out to that guy. He's awesome. That guy's cracked. That guy's absurd. All right. I don't really know. Maybe Skyjay's Incineroar. I think I fight an Incineroar here a lot. I'd like to fight that as well. Honestly, the trend is just better players of these characters, right?
If you want a shot at Stroder, you come out to Arizona. I'll try and house you. We'll make that happen.
I actually have a friend in Arizona that wants to see me because I met him like way back a year ago. So maybe if I come down to Arizona, who knows?
Is he in the scene?
He goes to a GCU, so they have like a really big weekly over there. Yeah, he's super chill. Yeah, so super good. Yeah, the university connections go hard, right? Yeah. So that's about it. Like I think I mean actually if there's one character that I've like never fought but I always wanted to fight, I think being able to fight like a really good Diddy Kong, so I guess like Tweak, and just feel how it feels to be like out neutral all the time, that'd be pretty fun.
Oh no. God, it makes me want to quit. I start thinking that, like my life decisions are all wrong after fucking going up against Tweak or Aaron on top of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Fuck that.
The thing is like I feel like the top 10 in Ultimate are so much better than like 11 through 50. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's such a huge gap between like Leo, Spargo, Zachary, DeBuzz, Tweak, Mars. They play at such a high level compared to the rest of us. And
it's interesting. You want to figure out what makes them so different.
What do they do?
Watching the VODs isn't going to give you the answer too. It's like
it's not. It's an in the moment playing type of decision making for sure, 100%. Because I know that's what it is. I'm very hopeful to see that at some point. So yeah.
Hell yeah,
that's about it. That's about all the characters and players I want to fight.
Okay,
which hopefully might happen. At Glitch, I will be fiending friendlies.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I want to watch these. I'll bring a capture card. We'll try and set it up. Capture these, put them on YouTube. I'll do it for you. Don't worry about it.
IRL stream. Ican on the Mac and I stream.
I'll try. Depending how good the Wi-Fi is there, or if I can get one of those mobile backpacks that always has like a satellite connection to the internet.
Dude, I am so excited for Glitch. It's literally at MLK weekend. It's the perfect time for work and school. It's the second major of the year, right? A week before Genesis. Like, dude, Maryland. Never been to Maryland, but I'm gonna go to Maryland, right? Oh my god.
So it's funny because that's gonna be my bachelor party. I'm getting married in February, so I'm like,
oh my god, congratulations!
Thanks, man. But like, it's so fun because people are like, what are you doing for your bachelor party? Let's get strippers. Let's get cocaine. I'm like, I got something different in mind. I'm gonna go and play with a bunch of people. I'm gonna go play a video game and have a blast doing it. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? What's the matter with you?" Because I'm like, my buddies, they're like all my party friends from like high school and like all through that time. So they don't really, except like two of them, understand like the competitive scene and like why it's so much fun. The rest of them are like, "What are you doing? What is this?" I'm like, "You don't understand. I love this. This is everything. The fight is everything to me." So it's hard for them to understand. But like then you get into a community where it's the complete opposite, where these people absolutely love this game as much as you do, maybe even more, and it shows. It's so sick. I encourage anybody out there listening who's gonna watch this on YouTube later, go to a local. It'll change the way you look at this game.
You're gonna meet different people. You're going to interact with so many people you never thought you would. And you're going to play so many amazing players who have the same passion for the game as you do. It's absurd.
It's wild. Well, Ikan, man, thank you so much for your time, dude. This was so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. It was so much fun. I'm glad I got to fit it in my schedule and just kind of chill out and have some fun and just talk Shoto and tournament stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, that's dope. We'll do it again. We'll see each other at Glitch. I'll bring the capture card to the laptop. IRL stream.
For sure. Bring the whole setup. Bring it all. Oh, man. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, for sure.
All right, brother. You take it easy.
Thank you.
You win it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Win it tomorrow. You fuck them up.
Oh yeah, I'll be at Ignition tomorrow. Shout outs to Glitch. Fun for Glitch Compendium. Don't follow me on Twitter. Tune into Ignition stream. Unrivaled tournaments. That's all I can plug, really.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you again, brother.
Yes, for sure. Thank you. Take care.
See ya. What a great dude. Honestly, what a great fucking dude. Like, people, that's the mentality you have to have going into this game. This guy, he's got it fucking figured out. That is the most real main I've ever met. It's wild. Now, I got to pee so bad, and my dog has got to, I think he shit on the floor, so I have to be right back. Consider following my channel. Consider subscribing. Come on. Come on. It'll be a blast. That wrong one. It'll be a blast. I'll be right back. I'll read everything that went on in chat. Jesus, the whole world just like blew up in chat. All right, I'll be back. Oh my God.